Alright, hello and welcome. Today we're going to be talking about how to edit stages in Sonic Adventure 2 using set file editing tools. And hopefully that will get you working on mod projects or whatever additions you guys want to work on to the infamous Sonic Adventure 2. Now to get started, I'm going to tell you everything you need to get this done. There's quite a lot of links and quite a lot of tools that you guys are going to need to get this done. First and foremost, you're going to need the PC edition of Sonic Adventure 2. I know that a lot of people in like mod videos in the comment section always ask, oh, can consoles get this? No, that's a miss. It's a government hoax. It doesn't exist. You're gonna need the PC version. It's on Steam. It's really cheap, like $15 usually, and it goes on sale pretty often. Second thing you're gonna need is you're gonna need Cheat Engine version 6.4. It's very important that you get this version, and I will provide links to everything that I can in the description so you guys don't have to hunt for this stuff. But this is the specific version of Cheat Engine you will need, and you'll also need a specific table, but I will get to that later. Third thing you're going to need is you're going to need a set file editor. Now I have this one, and I will provide a link to that in the description as well. But this is the best one that I have used. It gives you item ID, rotations, locations, and the variables on the right. I think this set file editor was actually made specifically for this game, so it does work very well. But we'll get to more on how to use it later. That's like it for like the hard tools. However, you're going to want two links open pretty much all the time, and these are these two over here. Now, this is the Sonic Retro page, Sonic Adventure 2 object editing. This gives you the list of the levels and like their level IDs. So if I go to my object editor, go to File, go to Open, I'm going to get this. Now, if you don't know what level 11 is or what 11S means compared to what the U means, you're going to get lost. So this page tells you everything you need to know. The only thing you really should pay attention to is the level and the translation, and this here, which tells you whether it's a two-player set file, hard mode set file. What you really need to know is that the the 14_S, those folders are the really important ones. Those are what you're going to be messing with most of the time. The U folders are pretty much just background objects and props. The second page you're going to want open pretty much all the time is this pretty much Excel sheet that gives you a list of what the item name is in game, like in code, and the translation to that, and how we see it. So what is Kant wood? Like, you would look at that like, what the hell is that? And then, it's just a wooden box, And then what the difference between rocket and rocket missile, so forth. There are some question marks here. There are some things that will literally just crash your game. Experimentation helps. Also, as a note, when you get to dark story stages, some of it is a little inaccurate, so be willing to test and read. There are some patterns you can follow here, but sometimes it's wrong. But just look out for that. All right. So now that you have all of your tools assembled, I will teach you how to use them. Now, the first thing you're going to want to do is load a level. Ignore the fact that I'm in weapons bed with the wrong character. Okay. Now you're going to see that I have live edit mode enabled here. I'm going to show you how to do that really quick. Now you're going to want to, all right, actually let me work backwards here. If I open up Cheat Engine,
Which way should I go?
shut up, Tails. If I open up Cheat Engine here, you're going to click on this button that like glows. You're going to find Sonic 2 app exe, open. This is the table I'm talking about, Sonic 2 app. You're going to open that, run the Lua script, and you're going to get two of these tables. You're going to get tools and then tweaks hacks. We don't need this. What we really need is the tools page. And if you accidentally X this out, you can go to table and go to tweaks, restore and show, and you'll get that back. Importantly, you're going to want to go to the object editing page, and that's going to pop this up. And you want to click on live edit mode. And then that's how you get that up. Now, I'm pretty sure this can only be done on a controller. Xbox, PS4, something. Just have a controller. And you're going to want to press down on your D-pad. and you're going to get a bunch of information on your screen and this cursor. Now this cursor is really important, as is the information. So there are multiple ways of doing the same thing. So I'm going to show you how to accomplish one thing in many ways. So we're going to do the simple task of just adding an object. So there are two ways to do that. The first way to do that is through Cheat Engine, and the second way is to just do it through your set file editor. I say it like they're separate tools, but a lot of the time we're going to be working with these two things in tandem. So the first thing you're going to want to do for the Cheat Engine method is you're going to put your cursor somewhere up here. You're going to go to your object editing page, place objects. I'm pretty sure this is on by default, but that's fine. We're going to go to level objects. Common objects doesn't work as well in my experience, just doesn't spawn when I want it to spawn, so I just go to level objects. And this is where the spreadsheet comes in hand, so if you don't know what any of this means, just go to that spreadsheet. So let's say I want to have a checkpoint right at spawn. I'm going to click spawn object. There it is. I'm going to press down on my D-pad. It's going to have a green hue, that means your object is selected. Now your left D-pad will be able to move it, you know, and your triggers can move it up and down. Up will change like its angle, you know, if you want it like this way or some weird shape. So you place it where you want. So I want it right here. Boom, works. Now if I reset the stage, it's gone. So you need to save your work to keep it. And in order to do that, what you do is that you go to your place objects, go to show spawned objects, and you're going to want to, and you know, if you did it correctly, the save point should be here. We're going to do save to file, native set format bin, create a name for it, so like save point, weapons bed, save, give you an information where one objects. You're going to go to your set file editor, go and make sure that, you know, whatever level you're working on is the correct one. So just for the example, we're in weapons bed. Where is weapons bed? That's level 12. So we're going to go to file, open. We're going to 12S. And we're going to file, merge. And what we're going to do is just go to wherever you installed your cheat engine. And I created a separate folder for it, just called edits, keep everything, you know, sane, and save point, and then it should be kind of hard to see, but it's at all the way at the bottom here. And then what you're going to want to do is file, save as SA2, go back to where you saved it. So I saved it in SA2 rando, level 12S. You know, it already exists. Yes, you want to replace it. Minimize that. Now, what we're going to do is exit your game, like the level, not the actual game. Load back in. And there you are. Now, the other way to get this done is to simply press down, look at your location, and, you know, like the Eggman, let's go to weapons bed. The ID for the checkpoint is 8, so I would go in my set file editor here, add blank object, and then you just do everything manually. So 8, you know, type in your coordinates, and we'll get to this in a second, what the variables 1, 2, and 3 do. But then you would hit apply. That will happen if you have nothing set here. You'll hit apply and then just file save, and then that's it. Now, there are many situations where you're going to want to use these two tools in tandem, and that's when you want to just move an object. So let's say I want to just move this robot like here. you know. So if I go to place objects and show spawned objects, that change is not logged. So what I could do is just spawn the robot here and just do what we just did, or I could find that robot and change its, its coordinates. So let's restart here, just so I don't have to move it back. So what you're going to want to do is that we have a robot select object fig A02. What you would do is that you'd look in your spreadsheet here and you just find it. Fig, yeah, new inactive hunter. It's item 54, and we're like, okay, that's item 54. Where are the 54s on this list? It's all the way at the bottom, right? Okay, so you got the 54s. Where is this one? It's at negative 160y. And what you can do is you can organize by going to edit, organize by IDY. How I do it, just easy for me. And why was it? Negative 160? And so we just find that one. Yeah, negative 160. There's a bunch of them because there's a lot of robots there. And you just pretty much line up the numbers. And then you move it to the new location. So if you wanted to move it over here, we just open up, like, let's say this was the robot we were talking about. We change these numbers to what these numbers are. If I center in on the robot, the negative 50, blah blah blah. What you also want to do, what you can do, is that if that's just annoying to you, if you know where you want it, stand where you want the object, pause the game, go into your cheat engine, and there's going to be this thing here that says one player character object data. Click this box. It's going to give you your X, Y, and Z position. And what you can do at that point is if I select this object, here it's just being a really big butt. Where are you? It's like somewhere back in the abyss. Where is it? Okay, here it is. All I have to do at this point, let's get this out of here, is copy and paste. And that's a way to speed up a process. Now that I am talking about this, you can use this practically to teleport yourself if you know what coordinates you want to other parts of the map. You could also, if you have Cheat Engine open, also an amazing tool. If you have Cheat Engine open, press N on your keyboard to activate no clip. Hold X and up to fly. And you don't have any collision, so you can, phase to the floor and, it's no clip. Only, some objects would be really dumb, but generally speaking, it is helpful for just getting around the map and just being where you want. Now, there are some specific objects that will definitely cause you trouble. And before I talk about that, you notice that I got an error. This version of Cheat Engine is finicky, and what I mean finicky, I mean very crash prone. A lot of the time, Cheat Engine itself will crash, your game will crash. Save often. That's all I can really say about that. Very crash prone stuff. Set file editor will never crash. I don't think I've ever had the set file editor crash, but Cheat Engine will definitely crash by itself or the game. We'll turn on object editing, live edit. So we're gonna place a spring down. Go to level object, spring. Okay, we have a spring. Now let's say you want the spring to be really powerful. Like we go to the spring and like you want it to shoot you up. Now what you can do to test the strength is, now that you have the spring selected, press right on the D-pad, and not every object has this option, but you can use your triggers to edit the variable on the screen. It's the scale. And you notice you have 3 sections. That corresponds to your 3 variables, 1, 2, and 3. So the strength is scale 2, or variable 2, and we want to pump this up to like 30. And once you do that, boo! You shoot up. You ascend into the heavens. Now, when you place the objects in this way, um, via cheat engine, the first method I showed you, the variables should save. They should. But like I said, not every object has the ability to edit those um, variables via cheat engine. So what you are going to have to do is find the spring, and springs are usually one or like three or four. So you'd find the spring, and you'd have to just change the variables manually. Uh, Now, if you want to know what these variables actually do, you could experiment or go to object specifics, Control F, spring, spring, and it will eventually. There we go, springs. You know that the Y rotation does something, but doesn't rotate the object. You can do that in Cheat Engine actually, but not via set file editing. And then the Y scale is the multiplier of spring's power. I do believe that one of these variables controls, kind of like auto locks your controls, um, for a set number of frames, but I cannot confirm which one it is specifically. I'm trying to think if there's anything else like really important. I guess like deleting objects in mass is something you're gonna have to do in the set file editor as well. Because there's no way to like delete objects via cheat engine method. So if you want like just a bare bones stage, you just go to the file, Control A, Shift A, something. Just select all of it somehow using your method of choice, and then just click Remove Selected. Anything else I really want to do or say? I think that's it, or at least that's the basics. So with what I gave you, you should be able to learn the tools and experiment. Now this isn't like the master guide because there are a lot of problems with the editor, and some objects act funky, and there are some issues that you're going to run in with editing things like knuckles pieces and that thing. The best way to learn all of that is just through trial and error. If people want, I can update a more detailed guide about how all of the other things work, but this is just really how to get you started. Sorry if this was a little bit wordy, or if anything, just turn your speed up to 1.5 times speed if that's your thing. But thank you so much for watching, and hopefully this helps. If you have any questions, post it in the comment section, and I will try to answer as many as I can. And if I don't have an answer, I'm sorry. Whoop, that was embarrassing. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. You guys have a great day. Enjoy your modding.